Now, one of the best ways to celebrate Israel is to travel around this beautiful country, but because of the coronavirus crisis, that isn't exactly possible this year. So we're going to break down the most important locations in Israel surrounding the history and establishment of the nation. And joining us now is tour guide Anat Harrel. So where are we headed first, Anat?
Well, on our whirlwind tour of Israel, we are going to start at the Paris Center for Peace and Innovation in Tel Aviv, Jaffa. And in this hour and a half tour, you're going to get a wonderful background of what makes Israel so miraculous, so amazing, and all the challenges that we are trying to deal with in the country. It's a great place to start. After that, I suggest we go to the very beginnings of the city of Tel Aviv, cornerstone, the cornerstone of the first Jewish city, modern city in 1909. All right, and that street corner is very close to where the Independence Hall is, where David Ben-Gurion declared the founding of the state on May 14th, 1948. And then from there in Tel Aviv, we stay in Tel Aviv for one more. We go to Rabin Square. Now, Rabin Square is the place where if you have anything to protest, that is where you want to be. And on this spot, in November 4th of 1995 happened one of the most seminal events in the history of Israeli society, the assassination of our Prime Minister, Yitzhak Rabin. That place is huge, very, very important if you want to really understand Israeli society.
Absolutely.
Okay. We also go to a place called the Ayalon Institute. The Ayalon Institute is where a number of youngsters gathered. They were supposed to go in 1945 to found a kibbutz, but they were diverted for a very, very important national project. Underground, they constructed a place where they built a bullet factory, and this bullet factory. They built over 2 million bullets that helped us in winning our independence war in 1948. A favorite among the tourists that I take. From the center of Israel, we head up north towards the Galilee. In the Galilee, where you will encounter 50% Israeli Arabs, 50% Israeli Jews, we go to kibbutz Degania. Kibbutz Degania is where another group of youngsters in 1908 started to work in a place. They decided to change the world by becoming a commune and sharing everything. And they were the drive that started the kibbutz movement. Okay, this kibbutz movement today, up until today, we have over 270 kibbutzim in the country. They're only 40% of the population, but is the only place in the world where socialism really has worked in small communities. An amazing, amazing place. In the north of Israel, I also recommend going up to the Golan Heights. On the Golan Heights, there is a spot called Mount Bental on top of a volcano. And at this spot, you can see Lebanon, you can see Syria, you can see Jordan. It's a wonderful place to talk about the geopolitics of the whole Middle East, talk about military history, about geopolitics, about culture, and about the Druze, who are part of a very strong part of Israel. An amazing, amazing place. And then I recommend driving down through the West Bank, through the Jordan Valley to Jerusalem. In Jerusalem, there are two spots that are really important if you want to understand Israeli society. One of them is called the Mount of Remembrance, Mount Herzl. Half the mountain is the Holocaust Memorial Museum. It's called Yad Vashem, all right? And the other half of the mountain is the Arlington Cemetery of Israel. It's Mount Herzl Military Cemetery. And this mountain serves for us Israelis as a reminder, first of all, to remind ourselves that 6 million Jews were murdered without a country to run to escape to. And then the other half of the mountain reminds us of the sacrifices that our soldiers have done in order for us to live in this democracy and in this free country. And the last spot in Jerusalem on this whirlwind tour is, of course, the old city of Jerusalem. Because the old city of Jerusalem marks the place where it all began, the place where King David 3,000 years ago marks Jerusalem as his capital and begins the commitment of the Jewish people to Jerusalem as its capital. And today you can walk around the old city of Jerusalem, visiting the Christian sites, because Jerusalem, the place where Jesus died and resurrected, is so important for Christianity. Visiting the Temple Mount, which is the third holiest place in the world for Muslims as well. And so Jews, Christian, Muslims, the old city of Jerusalem, you can't miss that at all.
Amazing.
So on this whirlwind tour of Israel, you get a little bit of everything, a little bit of culture, history, archaeology, and there you go.
Wow, Anat, that was absolutely amazing. I don't think any of our viewers are going to feel the need to even travel to Israel because you explained everything so well. But what I do know is that when flights start opening up again, when the airport opens up, I think you're going to have a lot of guests coming to visit you specifically.
Please come and visit us. Please come and visit us.
All right, thank you so much.